Louisa Barton here for the Horse Talk Show and the CEP's Equine Initiative. And we are at the Equine Performance Innovative Centre with the General Manager, Andrew Vanlangendonck. And hopefully I got the name right.
Perfect. Perfect pronunciation.
Andrew, it's lovely to be with you.
Thank you.
We've chatted before about Derby and Breeders' Cup contenders. Now we're in a little bit of a different spot here. But for people who don't know your background, we'd like to learn a bit about you. I know combat veteran, GM here, second generation horseman, family that's been in the racing world for a very long time and been very successful. Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, Lisa, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. My experience with horses, obviously, as you stated, extends back to before I was born. I was apparently going to races and thoroughbred sales when still in utero. So it's the only thing I've ever known. It was very unique childhood, I'd say. You meet a lot of people that say they grew up with horses and been around horses all their life, but mine was even more so unique. It was
sales prep at 11.
Yeah, sales prep, and yeah, starting having to turn out sales prep yearlings at 11 years old. So things like that, mucking stalls. I don't even know what age I was. I remember being on the back of a muck wagon, probably a story and a half high of straw muck, pushing it off when my brother drives it. For like neighbors' cows to eat, and I must have been 8 years old then. So this has been a lifelong thing for me. I've never really known anything else from my childhood. So it's a very unique thing. I grew up on 80 acres here in Ocala, Florida. It was a husbandry farm and sales prep farm for the most part. When I was younger, we had stallions that we would breed, but that was long gone before before I got involved, and I was too young. For a little bit, my dad was the general manager of Silver Springs Farm, Silver Leaf Farm. It's been that long. Silver Leaf, which is now called Padua, down in Summerfield, Florida. So I just went from one 80-acre farm to whatever Silverleaf was, 2,000-acre farm. And I can't think of a single moment without horses in it. Not a horse, not two horses, but hundreds of horses with it. So and that would extend into my, I believe I had to start working full summer vacation. Summer vacations weren't that fun for me. I had to work 6 days a week like a normal groom, mucking stalls, grooming horses. I had to start at the back of a pitchfork.
Explains where your fantastic work ethic came from, though.
Yeah, my dad quote unquote, drilled that into my head would be the best way to probably describe that. But very hard work ethic and this need for honesty, and it is what it is that extended from my father. So more, it was such a indoctrinating childhood into horses that that was the big motivator to join the military, because it was easier. That's true. I joined it because it was easier, and it was a lot of fun. So
well, thank you for your service.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. But I would have to do we would do sales prep of yearlings, but that would even before that we did the breeding. Foaling, I would have to night watch when I was in high school until about 11 o'clock at night, sometimes at 12 o'clock at night, go to bed, wake up, go to school the next day, kind of a situation. I had to wait for the night watch to get there. That started at midnight. Foaling mares, I remember my dad waking me up at one point. I was less than 15, in my teens, but it'd be early teens, to help him pull a foal that was hip locked in a mare out. And obviously I wasn't that strong, but it was more pressure. It was additional poundage pressure to pull out of the mare, and we got it out. So it was just a lot of things that I would have gained in experience even before I was fully in puberty. So it was very 1950s childhood, essentially. It was, as a child, it was like I slightly would resent it a little bit. To be honest on it, because how many kids have to work, from 7 a.m. till 4:30 in the afternoon, 6 days a week on summer vacation. Now I'm greatly appreciative of it because of the knowledge and experience that I can bring to the table of wherever I'm at, which I bring now here to Epic. Which can also help our practitioners and such that have medical training and all that knowledge from schooling and stuff like that. However, putting it into practice, I may have better ways to kind of show them how to deal with an animal, or to get them to stand there better, or just to calm them, which makes the actual medical procedure a lot easier to deal with.
So horsemanship skills that really work well, especially in here where you're doing rehab and conditioning, maybe on horses that have some sort of injury, that are uncomfortable, and you can recognize that and also then help on the horsemanship side to make that horse more at ease and more comfortable through whatever that rehab or conditioning
Absolutely.
or treatment might be.
Absolutely, yeah, and being able to read the horse on what they're feeling or what's maybe agitating them, upsetting them, in my opinion, is like learning an entirely new language. And as someone that's been from, I mean, an infant to now being just completely immersed in horses, like hundreds of horses at a time, it's something that I just learned growing up. So it's kind of learning in a bilingual household, and you can speak both languages. So for me, reading a horse is fairly easy. Where comparatively so to someone else, they may not grasp the full picture of what the horse is feeling or wanting and what is going to help them relax more for whatever you want them to do, kind of a thing. So it's certainly a unique ability that I've really enjoy now, type of thing. So, but in my end of high school is when I joined. I did decide to take a break of it. I was kind of like, I'm tired of doing this every day, day in, day out, and there was no excuses with my father or my mother of wanting to take days off or be a goofy, stupid teenager. So I decided to join the Air Force. So I joined, they didn't even know, I don't believe, until maybe like a month prior to me shipping out for boot camp. So, and that was a very unique career field as well, or a unique career as well. So I've kind of had two unique careers. So I joined the Air Force, and I was an airfield manager, and I went to South Dakota was my first base. That one wasn't that fun, but I was only there for about a year and a half, and then after that I deployed and spent my time overseas in combat zones, and then after that, when I got back from my deployment, I immediately I in-processed the base for my deployment, and then right after they signed the paperwork for in-processing, I handed them paperwork for out-processing, and I was shipped back overseas to Japan. And I was in Tokyo for 2 years, which was phenomenal. It's by far my favorite base. If anybody needs to go traveling, go to Tokyo. It's a wonderful country. Japan, good racing too. So that was something that I really enjoyed. I was there for the 2011 9.0 earthquake, which was, I was actually the operations supervisor for the airfield that day, which was one of my favorite experiences in the Air Force, not so much as being in the 9.0 earthquake, but what followed after that kind of a situation. So that was a very, very wonderful experience for me to see on what it takes for teams, because we had the Air Force come out, pararescuemen digging through houses. We had the Army come out bringing and dropping some medical supplies, Air Force dropping medical supplies, and just offering rescue and humanitarian services to the people of Japan. So as well as their own, not so to say military, I don't believe they have a quote unquote military, but their volunteer services helping. So to have all of those collective groups come together and in very short period of time and just help an entire country, because the earthquake was so big, it moved Japan 8 feet towards China. And it tilted the earth off its axis by 6 inches.
That's scary.
That's how big it was.
You've had a very, very extensive background, that work ethic, obviously horse background, a great experience in the Air Force, all of that to reinforce really everything that happens here at Equine Performance and Innovative Center is fantastic support. So as clients, folks that come here know the kind of support that they're actually getting for the veterinarians who are here treating the horses. Andrew, it's lovely to hear so much about you, and there's some things I learned I didn't know, as well as you've helped Hall of Famers with Breeders' Cup and Derby contenders as well. So lots and lots of experience for everything here, really.
Yeah, I love this place. Dr. Vanlangendonck is such an innovative doctor and likes forward thinking. That's what I am all about. Even if I find a process that I like and I think it's perfect, I can't help it but going, what can I do to make this even better? And that's the exact same alignment that Dr. Vanlangendonck has. So he and I both are completely aligned with that. So it's been a really kind of a dream team where we mesh together, and we actually don't have to speak very much to know what each other wants. So it's been a very, very wonderful opportunity, and he and I are going to do great things together in the future.
That's fantastic. That's what makes it epic. Equine Performance Innovative Center in the horse capital of the world. Here with Andrew, the GM, Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show, and the CEP's Equine Initiative.